Hello folks, and welcome back to another Wizegamer video. Today we're going to be going over how to use save editors for Legend of Heroes, or Legion of Heroes, Legend of Heroes I mean, Trials and the Sky games. Now there's 3 different installment games for this series. There's the first chapter, which is FC, there's the second chapter, which we're going to be covering in this video, which is SC, and then there's the latest one that they came out with called the third chapter, which is TC. So, but you do need a separate save editor for each game that you play. You can't use the same one for all 3 games. And this goes for all other kind of games too. So if you play like a Steam game or any kind of computer type game and you're looking for a save editor, you have to make sure that that save editor is for that particular game. Now, what are save editors used for? Well, they can kind of change things in the game. Status, currency. It's kind of like using cheats. That's what we're going to be covering in this video, so let's get the ball rolling. So the first thing we want to do is actually get the actual program to get this going. So to get this one, we're going to just go to this website right here, which I'm going to have the actual link for in the description panel of this video. Once you come here, it's put out by Stormwave Digital Design. And in here, they have a save editor for each one of the games. So the top one, which is 1.4, is for the first chapter. The one that I'm playing, which is the second chapter, is 1.3, and the third chapter is 1.1. This audio switch I am not going to get into. I have no idea what that's about, so we're going to skip that for this video. Once you download it, just save it wherever you normally download to. You're going to have to extract it, and then out comes the program. Once the program comes out, this is what it looks like. Neat little program, and it's not very confusing to use. It's actually very easy. And if we look in here, we're going to see that, well, actually, I'm kind of jumping the gun. When you first get it, you're going to have to open up, well, each time you use it, you're going to have to open up the file here. So you're going to click on File, and you're going to go to Open File. But first I want to show you something else before we do this. If you go to your program files in your computer system, I'm using Programs 86. You're going to scroll down until you find Steam. You're going to double click on that to open it. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to go to User Data. I'm going to double click on that, double click on this one. And in here you got to know which one to click on. For this particular game right here, or any Trials in the Sky that you have in your computer system from Steam, it's going to be this one right here. Called, it's 251150. Double click on that. Double click on Remote. And in here we got both games that I actually own, which is the first chapter and the second chapter. But for this video, we're using the second chapter. Double click on that. And in here we're going to see all the different saves that I have in the game. We have auto saves, and we also have the hard saves that I actually manually saved throughout the course of the game. So for this one, I'm going to be using SVDAT001. But you don't really have to be concerned with this because the tool does open this up within the actual save editor. I'm going to close that, and now we're going to go to Open File, and we're going to find the save that we want to use. I don't recommend using the auto saves because you have no control over those. I recommend using these hard saves with the SVDATs. Now, for this one I'm going to be using Save 1. So you just highlight this, and before you do all this, I recommend making a few extra saves just in case if something screws up. And it can happen. It actually happened on the first video that I made covering this. And I'll explain that a little more later. So once we click on Save 1, which is what I'm going to be using here, we're going to click Open. And it's going to load what we're looking at right now. Normally this would be blank. All these boxes would be blank the first time you're using it, each time you use it until you load up a save. And we're going to see that each one of my party members is in here. Well, actually, they're not. So I would have to put in, let's see who I'm using here. So let's go back to the game. Let's see here. So we have Estelle, Titta, Oliver, and Cleo. So we're going to open up the program again. And right in here, we're going to match this. I'm going to put Estelle in here. I'm going to put Titta in here. What a name. One thing I love about this game, I could actually pronounce all the names. Oliver and Cleo. There we go. Now, to change their actual level, we're going to level them all to 99, which is, I think, the max in this game for the second chapter. So what you do here is that we're going to go right down the list. So the first one's Estelle, and this is a drop-down box with all their names in it. So we're going to pick Estelle, and we're just going to click here in the box, backspace, and it's going to automatically go to the highest one, which is 99. That's what we want. Now we're going to go to Titta, do the same thing, and go to 99. Now, if you don't want to go all the way to 99, say if you want to go to level 80, how you do that, because if I try to just type in 80 here, it's not going to work right. It's not going to, it just looks odd when I do it. So we're going to backspace it again, right? What you want to do is you want to highlight it with your mouse by keeping the mouse button pressed and highlight it where it looks blue. Now you can type in whatever you want. 70. Highlight it. 80. Highlight it. 80. Whatever. Alright. I'm just going to backspace it now and make them all 99 so that they're all the same. Okay. And now Cleo. And there we go. So now all their levels are 99 now. Now inventory. This, you really got to be careful. I really recommend making a few saves before you mess with this. Stagger your saves, just in case if something messes up, you're not stuck. You don't have a messed up game. Now you just go to an alternate save and just take it from there. When I hit this debug button down here, it kind of messed up my game the last time. So I don't want to do that. So when it comes to using this option right here, this inventory, I'm not going to. I just want to play with their levels a little bit and maybe give myself a little more currency, which is the Myra in the game that we could see to the bottom left corner of the game. The Myra, I'm sitting at 80,000, blah, blah, blah. Could barely talk now. All right. Now, if you did want to change these items, like this pole weapon, you just go to this drop-down box, and it should be in here. So we just pick pole weapon, and you would click on add item for how many quantities you want. And that's it. It's that simple. But just really be careful using this. So far I haven't had any issues playing with their levels and their resources. So I think you're pretty safe there. And that's basically how you use this. Now the Cypriots, you could do the same thing. You could give them as much or how low you want, and then you're good to go. So now once you do this, we're going to now click File on the very top left, and you're going to go to Save File. You have to do this for it to take. So click on Save File, and now you could actually close this right off now. Shut it right down. Now what's great about this program, it's not like using like actual cheat devices like GameShock used to be, or code breakers and stuff, where once you save the game with those high parameters that you have just set up, you're stuck now and the game's always set at those levels. Sometimes you just want to beef up your guys to get through a particular area in a rush, or to down one boss that's really giving you a difficult time, but then you'll want to go back to your normal levels again. With this, you can. That's what's great about it. You don't always have to be in God mode. You could just go back to what I've shown you and go back to their levels again, highlight it, and just type in 60 again, or whatever level you're at. and you're good to go. Save it, and that's it. All right, now what you got to do now next is actually go to Files, and we're going to have to go to Load for it to actually kick in now. We're going to go to Chapter 1, Save 1. Okay. And now if we go, the Myra, I still had set up from the last time I did it, so that hasn't changed. But now if we go to their status now, and you look here to the right, you're going to see now that it went from 60 to 99. So if we go to each one of our members, let's see if it all worked. And it looks good. And they're all at 99. So it did work. Now you might want to check out your menu, see if there's any white blotching going on. See if there's anything that looks odd in the game after you've done this. If it doesn't, then you're good to go. I did have an incident where the first time I went to use this program, I just wanted to experiment with a still. So I raised her to 99, I left everybody else the same. No, I didn't put them in the blocks, that's what it was. And when I logged into the game, it was just her walking around, and there was 3 white blocks behind her, which was supposed to be the other group members. So you got to watch out. You got to watch out. So that was an easy fix. I just opened it back up. I made sure that they were all in their slots, provided them with the levels I wanted to provide, and it looked fine. I'm going to close it out now. I don't think there's any fights in here, so I can't show you how strong they are now. But also, when you also do this too, it's also going to give you higher, let me see, what are they called? Set breaks and higher skills that they would normally get at this level. So that's why you're really going to kick some ass. But like I said, you got the option after fighting that boss, or if you want to go back to your regular level, you can do that by going back to it. And it's a great program. So far, I'm really enjoying it. And that's basically it. So again, what I want to go over, which I kind of skipped early because I made about 14 takes of this video, is when you're in the program, when you're in the actual program, the save editor, you want to make sure that you load the save that you want to work with here. So if you wanted to use save 2 and you wanted to play with save 2, then you would open up the file and pick the save 2, not save 1. But it's always best to use save 1, and like I said, always make sure that you make a couple of other backup saves just in case if something happens. Okay? And that's basically how you use Save Editor for Trials in the Sky. Until then, we'll see you the next time. This is Wizegamer. Feel free to sub up, comment below, and we'll catch you the next time. Bye-bye.